Ooh, do, 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 do. Hello. What, two scrunchies in there. Hi, everyone. I literally recently just rolled out of bed and decided to do this live. It was not planned. I even forgot to go live on TikTok, which was the intention. But then um, we're here. Let me turn off my speaker. It was so unplanned. I didn't even turn off and check my space. How's everyone doing? How are you feeling? Where are you tuning in from? Um, I'm going to be doing a collective reading. There's a lot that's coming up, and I just feel like this is a perfect time to jump in. Hi, everyone. Let me know where you're tuning in from, where you're tuning in from. Just getting my setup. Hey, Maha. France. But Moroccan. Hello. India. Beautiful. Amazing. We're live on TikTok now. Great. And I have my tea. I don't know if you guys have your tea set up. Cacao, what day of the day it is, what time of the day it is. Finally caught a live. Oh, I'm so happy you're here. Atlanta, on my way to New York. Portland. Awesome. Hey, Michelle. It's nice to see some old faces and some new ones. If it's your first live, put a rainbow emoji and introduce yourself. I always love it. I actually do read every person who introduces themselves. And I feel like it's just a great way to connect with you guys. So I'm so excited for today. I hope you can hear me. Can everyone hear me? Yes? Good morning, good rising. Let me know if you can hear me. Put my mic on, so you should be able to. Good evening. Beautiful. BC, Canada. Oh, I'm happy you're here. Sounds good. Awesome. Chicago. Great. Awesome. Well, okay, so let's chat because you guys are family here. Those who are coming in, you guys could just chat in the chat, introduce yourself. Newfoundland, hello. Nice to see you. I was in meditation today. For those of you who don't know, I reside in Canada. Even though I travel a lot, actually, my base where I'm from is Canada. I'm Canadian St. Lucian, and recently I am in Ontario. So I don't know if anyone else is in Canada is affected by the fires right now, but it's been super overwhelming. It's smoky outside. You go outside, it's the air, you can see it. Like I'm looking outside my window and it's quite foggy. It looks like it's gonna rain, but it's just the smoke. Thank you so much. And it's been overwhelming. The past few weeks, I was wondering, I was like, I feel like this grieving coming up. And I've even seen it in some of the group in my Earth Dharma. They're like, I feel this grief that's coming up. Ontario, so you know what I'm feeling, Steph. And today I felt that again. I felt this like, whew. And what came up in my meditation was first your reading with you guys collectively, chat with you, check in with fam. Like, how's everyone feeling? Because even though you're not physically in the spaces, we're all connected, right? The water that rains or pours in your city when it rains is waters from other lands, right? So at the end of the day, us as a collective are connected, right? So I think this is a time that collectively the fire is kind of waking us up, and also Mother Nature is like kind of screaming to us to listen a little bit more. So I want to do a collective reading of what's coming up and channel for you guys. Because that's what's coming up here. So I really want you to breathe in your heart and solar plexus as we're connecting here, opening the heart, receiving channeled message through the fire of your solar plexus. And yeah, let's start with just how are you feeling? Like, how are you guys feeling right now? And I'm going to put this as like a non-time channeled message. Usually I do messages, it's like for June, for whatever. This is for everyone who's on earth. Like, it doesn't matter if you see this after the fires or not. It is an issue that's happening in this world. Um, for a lot of you guys who don't know, the channel messages I've been getting, the water has been drowning around the world, right? We're getting less water. We're seeing that in nature, animals that we don't see all the time coming into our climates, going down because they don't have food. The earth, there's a lot of issues going on as far as, taking away from her more and more. Um, Feeling good last night and I felt heavy emotions. Yeah, so definitely feeling it from everything that's going on. So, all this to say is I want to share this with you guys. So, if you could come join me, we're just going to get comfortable. Just going to mute for a second so I can blow my nose so you guys don't have to hear it. Cool. So, and my sinuses have been more irritated. I've been using all the herbs. Don't worry, guys. The oregano, all the things. Okay. So I just want you to close your eyes if you can. If you can't, just bring some presence, some breath into your body. I just want you to put your left hand and right over and just breathing here. Bringing in this beautiful light energy into this portal, creating a beautiful bubble of light as we channel the highest level of messages for the collective at this time as we hear the Earth's call. Allowing the collective to receive whatever messages are meant for us all and all related. Calling in the highest and the highest benevolent guides, beings, guardians, ancestors to channel through whatever wisdom that is here for us to guide us through today. 𝐥𝐤𝐤𝐿. Take a deep breath in. Exhale out. Deep breath in. Exhale out. Whew. Beautiful. Opening your eyes, shaking the hands a little bit. So staying in your heart. Hello, Western Perth. All those who are just joining in, let me know where you're tuning in from. Let's start pulling. I know you guys are going to ask me. Lightwork Oracle card guide by Elena Fairchild. I have 2 of her decks. As I'm doing this, I'm hearing the sirens outside. So this is perfect timing. And I always say if we want to stop seeing the problem, start being connected to the problem, start seeing what you can do. Community is important here in this world, and I'm feeling that a lot. But we don't have to be alone. Oh, we love this card. Okay, we got 2 cards here. We have 39 divine talent. Okay, 39 divine talent. And I want to read this one for you. I want to also, just before I read it, you can see that the mood is like smoky. It gives me this fiery energy. I know we are moving into the Gemini new moon, but what this is telling me is we are in the cusp, we're in between, right? So as we're going away from the full moon and moving to the new moon, this is telling us that whatever we're receiving for the next full moon cycle, we are going to, have to implement that. So 39. You are a talented soul. Over many lifetimes, you have developed your spiritual abilities to channel higher awareness and attract healing, energy, and radiate light to uplift the consciousness that is around you. Your divine talents are many and uniquely expressed through you. Your talents do not have to resemble those of another to have their own inestimable value. Do not be afraid to use them. So one of the things that's coming up for me here is you can see that this masculine angelic is kind of giving me Archangel Michael vibes. I don't know if anyone else is feeling this. I'm definitely feeling this. And as I'm hearing the flute is like almost like the sound of nature is calling you to come back home. That's what I hear. The sound of nature is calling you to come back home through your gifts and your talents, and you are not listening. I almost hear when I say listening, it's an ancestral voice that's coming through. So, with the full moon talking about the ending of cycle, it's like, how can we kind of, you could say, water down the fire, or to really listen to the collective sounds? What is going on in your world? What is going on in your communities? I think one of the biggest things I'm seeing with this beautiful card is that Archangel Michael takes away strife, takes away pain, takes away any struggle that the collective is going through. I know this is going to sound probably contradictory to what a lot of people say, but I will say that I'm going to share this. A lot of people don't watch the news. I used to be one of those spiritual people. I don't know if anyone else does that. If you do, be honest, put your hands up. If you are someone, we're reading collectively, if you are someone that you tend to not look at the news, you are being disconnected to the problem. So, for example, all that's happening right now, are you shying away from it? When there's problem in your life, when there's issues in your life, do you close and shut that door, or do you allow yourself to open? Part of being empathic, part of being this aligned being, is to understand how to navigate the energy of this earth. You are human. You are supposed to be connecting and experiencing different emotions: joy, happiness, pleasure, um, grief and pain. Witnessing or being it. One of the biggest things that are coming up for me, and it keeps echoing in my head, and I need to share this, is that if you see someone suffering, we are suffering too, right? And I'm not saying that you need to do things that are outside of your energy. Obviously, manage your energy, have your boundaries. But what this means is, how can I use my talents? How can I use the tools that I have right now to support me and the collective when I do that? Because when I'm hiding my talents and just ignoring the problem, it's not helping. And this is what Mother Nature is channeling the past few days. She's kind of like, listen, oxygen is being affected right now collectively. What does that mean? Whether you're close to Canada or not. I say Canada, quote unquotations. But whether you're close to Canada or not, you are being affected. What is breath? Breath is our spirit, is our soul. It activates our human body, right? When we see someone at a funeral, we notice that they look different. It's because their soul has dropped out, right? So right now, spirit, earth is saying, start connecting with your soul. Wake up. Wake up. Now is the time to wake up. Now is the time to really use your divine gifts. You can either be a victim to the problem and disconnect yourself to your world, disconnect to what is seeping in your reality, or you could call in Archangel Michael. You could call in your guides to support you and meet co-creating with these guides, co-creating with this existence, and end a cycle that the spirit and the guides and the earth has been calling us to do. Divine Grace, Law of Efficiency. I love this card. This is the second time I think I pulled this card for you guys. This card's good. I'm going to go over it. It's 32. So anyone who's 32 represents a 32. For those who are in their 30s, you guys just finished your Saturn return, or you're at the end of it. So this is really big for you. It's almost like this, you're in this no man's land where all the healing and the lessons have happened. And now you're just kind of like in this space of the abyss, right? And those of you who repeat it in your 50s. It is a time your life becomes easier. It is a time that you walk the way in divine grace with trust, simplicity, and acceptance. You do not have to try to make things happen. You can gracefully accept without attachment and trust that all will be as it's meant to be. Surrender to the struggles now as you allow your life to serve with love and kindness. This is the most efficient use of energy and will lead you to the best results. So this is just telling me here, it's like, how are you being more efficient with your talents, with your energy in this world? Right? I don't know about you guys, but I was on a cusp of burnout a few days ago. I was irritated. My signs are irritation, impatience, and spirit just kept giving me lessons of those two areas of my life to teach me how to manage my energy. I didn't block it out. And it's funny because as humans, we'll go to, Archangel Michael and these guides, for support, to ask for something, to give us something. What comes to our left side is like receiving, and to give away, to let go of energies on, sorry, left side is receiving, right is releasing, letting go. But it's understanding law of efficiency means, how can I be more efficient with my energy? How can I be more efficient with my fire? How can I be more efficient with my grounding? How can I be more efficient with my tools? The more that I can encompass that into my everyday life, which everyday life is your ceremony, is everything. You are then allowing yourself to have space to create those talents that you have been seeking for. Hello, England. You have now done that, right? So again, the biggest message I'm getting is, stop disconnecting yourself from the problem, thinking that it's about your energy when it's a collective understanding. It's a collective process, right? Your DNA was created from various generations before. You are a reincarnation energy field, a reincarnation kind of, what would you say, creation. When I see it in ceremony, I see people almost like these beings, light beings, creating a body like they do with a baby in the womb. And they're adding and they're creating in the light body. And when they do that, they're helping you. They're supporting you. So when you shut that door, when something is open to you for a lesson, like the world, like the fires, like the waters, then we are now rejecting ourselves, right? So law of efficiencies, how can I be more efficient to receive myself, to let go what no longer serves me in this cycle of the moon? And when I can do that, I am then in full relations with the nature. And when I don't do that, I reject myself. Repeat, reject myself. Really want you to take away from this reading, how are you rejecting yourself in your life? Bringing compassion, honoring those spaces through every cycle and emotion that you have every day of your ceremony. So those are the cards from the light worker. Let's go into the wisdom of the oracle. These are my OGs. You guys know that I love wisdom of the oracle. I'm just gonna I have an inset here, so I like to reset the space in my hands. Okay, let's see what we have for the collective as far as what's going on. What do we need to know? Take a deep breath into your heart, fam. Feeling a lot of tenderness from the earth right now. She is not happy. But she's our mother, right? She's like a mother energy. If anyone has mother wounds, this time is probably going to be feeling maybe wavy, because she's connected to that. Are you ready for the big truth? How are you feeling, fam? Let me know in the comments. Okay, what's the next collective? Okay, so we have mending, new life, building blocks, and higher power. Okay, yes, doing a collective reading. So higher power is like this. How can I say this? For all of those of you who have not trusted your higher power and also trusted the higher power of the unseen, you're about to be like schooled. That's what the earth is telling you. And she's like, you're still not listening. You still don't trust it, right? You still want to be in control. Here's like, how can I really tap into that awakening of higher power? There's 4 here. 4 is the number of awakening. It's like realization. What does awakening mean? Awakening means a big life change in your life. There's a big life change in the collective. The fires are affecting people's homes, lands, and our oxygen, our souls, right? Breath. If you guys ever heard this saying, this is in a very, very beautiful medicine song. What is it? Fire my spirit, air my breath, water my blood, earth my body. Those 4 words, 4 sentences. So when we're talking about air, what's all affected? Every element from what's going on. Air my spirit. Your space of your spirit is feeling affected, but you don't know why. Why am I feeling like this? This is why. Collectively, spirit saying, you want to air your spirit? Connect with earth. Connect with the air. Connect with the oxygen. Connect with the trees. When was the last time you went outside? I'm calling myself out. I need to go outside after this. Fire my spirit. We have fire. This is supposed to wake up your spirit, awaken to a higher power, higher element, higher awakening within yourself. Where has your spirit been dimming its light? Mother Earth is saying, hey, you've been dimming mine. You've also been dimming yours too. Listen, listen, listen. Listen to the whispers. Then we go into water my blood. The waters are shifting. The waters are becoming less in this world, right? So water my blood, what does that mean? How can you connect with the bloods of your ancestors? Let the weaving of the waters of your ancestors go to each generation and not in a space of scarcity. How was your ancestors scarce? Every ancestor was suppressed. Not only the ones that we have been told through history, and I can tell you the history we've been taught is not right. So question it. Go into that space. I remember when I used to, for those of you guys who don't know, I come from a family that my grandmother would go to church four times a week, still does. And I was that kid who would question everything and get in trouble all the time. And, like my evolution and my beliefs have shifted, has expanded, have always expanded, and I've been punished for that. But when I look at my blood, the lineage I had was we were suppressed through going to something else that was more higher power, giving our power away in an institution. And this is just what I'm feeling. How do we give our power away in institutions? Schools, work, right? Everything, food. We go to a grocery store, you pick up, you want this on your list, you take it. Do you ever think about the gardener who made the food, who cooked it, who put those in the soil? What are they putting into the food to create it, to help it grow? That's all gonna water our blood. That affects our waters in our blood. Water, a lot of organizations actually decide what they put in your water. Do you know what your water is? I have a filter that has crystals in it. I use it as much as I can. Notice a huge difference if I spend the whole day drinking water from that as opposed to drinking it from the tap. So your blood connecting with ancestors, the earth, the fires is like your spirit wants to connect to the ancestors. You can't run away. I had someone the other day, the client, and they're a nomad, which nothing wrong. I'm basically a nomad, but they use it in a way to disconnect from their family. They don't go home, right? How many of you love traveling because you just don't have to be part of your reality? Put your hands up. I know some of y'all are like that. So the collective reading that's happening here is like, what's channeling is you got to come back home to your blood, the blood of yourself, the blood of your ancestors. Call someone you love right now. Allow your spirit to be fired up with this because we never know, right? We never know. I'm coming from a space of awareness, not in a space of like, oh my gosh, I need a space of awareness. And then lastly, we have Earth, my body, with the earth. She's on fire, right? That's hurting. It's like she is wounded. She's telling us she's wounded. In other words, we as a collective need to look at our wounds, need to look at what's being wanting to come up because it's erupting like a volcano. And that's the collective reading here. We got building blocks in new life. I could go on and on about these two cards, guys. When I'm in a channel mood, I just go deep. But let me know what's hitting with you when I'm chatting with you here. Spirit goes deep. Building blocks, new life. New life card is telling you there's a new beginning. I'm going to go deeper into that. I'm not going to give you a superficial new beginning. And building blocks. Building blocks is the building blocks of your life, right? So when we look at every element is being affected by what's going on, whether you're close to the proximity of it, if you are close to it, you're feeling it more or not, in whatever way that the earth in this time of this world, whatever is happening collectively, the truths, seeking that. Building blocks is saying there is a new life that is wanting to come through. And this is specifically in relation to your body. So for a lot of you, this time is about focusing on your health. And this starts with keep it simple. The biggest thing I've been really focusing on with a lot of people, even my clients recently, is keep it simple. Keep it simple. Keep it simple. Because sometimes we go really out there. We do the deepest healings. We do the plant medicine ceremonies. We do the crystals. We do all the things. But it's like we just need to look at our life. We could be spiritual in life. So building blocks is like, start looking at your food, start looking at your water, start looking at like how you wake up, start looking at the in between days, not the days that you're the worst or the best, but actually the days that are in between, because those days, sorry, those days are the days that are going to actually affect you the most, right? So really honoring that. And I just feel that deep in the heart here. Your new life is wanting to come through, but where are you holding on to it, staying in a transitional period? What does transitional period mean? Oh, it's not a right time. Oh, this is not the perfect situation. Oh, I just went through this. Again, being a victim to the old life is actually preventing the new roots to come through into your body. Looking at your health, looking at the air you breathe, looking at those things are very important. Even just as simple as like what soap you use at home. I just recently went really deep on changing my at home products, natural toothpaste and staying with the soap. And really, it's hard sometimes. I'm like, oh, it's just there. Let me just do that. But it's like these little things are what are going to affect us in our being. So the collective reading here is definitely on building blocks. I'm going to read this card. We have 39 for um, the new life card. Let's read it for you guys. So, birth new ideas, growth, opportunities, and breath the fresh air. Again, air is affected in this reading. Life renewing itself. When spring awakens, the world, joy, and excitement can be felt all around you in a very core blossoms. Burst with the trees overnight, birds returning home, singing in the glorious song, the nature of the full of the promises, miracles beacon on us all. This is one of those times in your life where the new ideas are inspiring you. Your new opportunities bring you hope and to seeing your dreams come true. All is well in your world, and you have the energy you need to feel renewed. Allow your heart to feel the enthusiasm. Let your light shine, for this is a good time for fortune. So it's funny, this card represents the beauty of life, but it also represents the other side of it too. And it's saying, how can we stop rejecting our enthusiasm, rejecting the new beginnings, rejecting the new parts of ourselves that we're integrating, receiving that and receiving the collective, not in isolation, not in avoidance. When we can encompass that, that allows us to then build the building blocks, which is the next card, 28. I'm going to read this one for you guys. 28, where are you? Here. Strong foundations, beautiful work in progress. You have everything you need to cultivate an extraordinary life. This is a time when you focus on needs to be in the foundations to build upon. Your work, your relationships, and your very being are unwritten by your values, ethics, morals, and core beliefs. Everything I just kind of mentioned. Are they still true to you? Will you stand the test of time and serve the solid grounding upon the construct of your life? Now you are making changes that will affect everything in a positive way. Your destiny is truly remarkable and a beautiful design. So these two cards kind of go hand in hand, right? We got Archangel Michael. This is building blocks is the masculine energy. And then we also have this beautiful card here, right? So it's like, use your talents to build your new talents, the new ones that you've now received in your healing. A lot of the times we keep on thinking about when we're doing shadow work, heal, heal, heal. I had this conversation with one of my students and I said, the balance, because they were saying that I'm actually always feeling like I'm shedding. I'm always feeling like I'm healing. And if you resonate with this, please let me know. But I think one of the biggest things that's coming up is like, how can you shed but also be in joy? How can you still be in happiness? Can you feel and do all those things, be in all these emotions, and allow a new thing to be birthed within, right? The earth is shedding, but she's shedding a lot of what we are bringing onto this earth. So there's no excuse to be disconnected. There's no excuse for our human to just stop looking at what's going on in the world because we are thinking about our energy and everything. that is, and I'm going to say a very, very potent sentence, that is selfish, right? That is ego. That is the mind. Those are the two things that tend to hold us back in the new life, right? So how do we maneuver it? Because I know you guys are gonna like, so Shika, how do I go from this to this? How you go from one space to another is really anchoring and understanding. How can I use my divine talents for community through me? I'm receiving that healing while also cultivating that in my communities. When you can do that, you're then anchoring back to your heart. When was the last time you did something for someone else genuinely without expecting something, feeling bad, feeling guilty? Just genuinely, your soul was like, I feel like doing this. And if you can only think of one or a few times, and it's like really asking yourself, how can I be in that same service for someone, for myself, and balancing and harmonizing those two things so I can have a new life, a new energy, and allowing that new version of myself that I've been working on through the collective, through the moon cycles, through the healing, to actually be seen, to actually be devoted to my lifestyle. When you can do that, everything, everything can open up, right? So you have to honor that. Honor that. If you honor it, then everything is mending, which is your next card. Remember when I told you about mother and child wounds? This is what this card is coming up. And I said this before I pulled this, remember? So this is a child, doesn't matter, female, male, whatever gender, but here it's saying there's a feminine energy here, connection. And it's asking you to look at the mending of your feminine energy, to connect more with your emotions at this time, to help you navigate to the higher realms and divine messages that you can receive, because this is just a seed I'm giving you. Now the rest is in your court, and allowing new life and building blocks, even if it doesn't make sense to the rational part of the human, which I feel like I needed to hear that message. So it's like sometimes we get opportunities of a new life and we ask ourselves, how are we going to make it out? What's the plan? You go into planning mode, you go into thinking, you go into the space of safety. When at the end of the day, the true safety is in earth my body, air my breath, fire my spirit, water my blood. That's all it is. That's why you're here. That's it. That's it. Those 4 things. When you can connect to those things, your human life will become so much more easier. Write it down if you need to. If you've gone to my retreats, you guys know that we do a lot of song, and this is what you literally rumble into your bones. So you can allow yourself to come into that deeper. I'll say it again. Earth, my body, water, my blood, air, my breath, fire, my spirit. It's a beautiful song. Actually, I believe Sam Garrett has it in his song, Mama. It's a beautiful song. I would really suggest you guys listening to it if you feel called to after. It's a beautiful, one of my favorite medicine people. So those are the things. I'm going to read your comments. Hi, Shika. So nice to be here. Hope all is well with you. I really need healing right now. Don't worry, Vegan Allison, I'm sharing something for the collective, an announcement after this reading. I'm hoping to get a little bit of therapy and healing right now with you guys. You're definitely getting it here, and that's beautiful. Crazy, because right now all I want is to run away from everything. Yeah, there's a running, and this is why this is happening. This is why there's fires. This is why the waters are being affected, is because Mother Earth, I heard this quote and it literally like me, but it also was like, this is so true. If Mother Earth didn't believe in humanity, she would explode today. She's letting us live on your land. She's letting you be on Earth, right? Universe is letting you be here. If you weren't meant to be here, and if any of you are in a space of a darkness where, why am I here? You weren't meant to be there. This is the cosmic joke. You are here, right? And you could go at any time. When the time comes, the time comes. But right now is not the time, because you still have your divine talents to share with this world that the world needs for you and for others. So, and this doesn't mean, I know this when people say this, they're like, healer. It doesn't mean that like we're all that. It doesn't, I feel like that word, coach, healer, all these words, service words, are really, really just like the shadow. It's like, no, I am not here. I always tell people that I help, even here when I do these videos with you guys. I'm not here to make you feel powerless. You are human, right? I'm not taking your power away. I will not heal you, but I will guide you. That's the purpose. I will open the doors, invite you in. And if you don't go, you don't go. And that's it. And that's what Spirit's saying. I'm inviting you to hear and feel the pain of the fires, to feel the pain of the waters, and to allow you to see where that is in your ancestral line, in your blood, and your mending and the healing, specifically in the feminine and the masculine, weaving those two together. Mama, papa, look at them. They're going to help you. And then you go look at, even if you don't have direct connection with them, you can still access that in your body, earth by body. You look at the earth. This is where it's like the fire of the earth. You need to listen, right? Because we are the ones that are part of the problem. I know this is so deep, but we got to anchor that in. I'm going to read more of your questions. What is the song of the artist? So Mama by Sam Garrett, sorry. He's amazing. I would follow him. I have him on Spotify. He's so good. Great medicine songs. I use them a lot also for ceremony. All the time, but I always used how do we keep giving knowing that we always get hurt and taken for granted? That is a wound of you not trusting. This is something you need to visit. You can't give from your heart if you're looking at the butt, right? Because the butt is the healing, is the mending, is what you need to look at, is what you need to trust, is what you need to open up, right? I was the same. I'd be like, if I help this person, but they'll hurt me, but they'll do this. I had to look at that. Where was I hurt when I helped someone? Where did I do this? Because that's the issue. People are rejecting and being disconnected. And that's why everything going on right now is what it is, right? We got to wake up. We got to come together. We got to do it. Might seem all like whoop, whoop, but it's going to be difficult. And this is why I'm working on a very big project. I can't wait to share with you guys in November about this. And you guys are going to be part of this if you choose to. But coming together, getting more connected with your food, with your water, like with the earth, with nature, like these things need to come through. Because if not, like you're not alone in this process. You kind of stop, you need to stop, take a breath. This is not just about you. It's about something so much bigger. And once you go into the healing and open up, what is the bigger picture here? And don't seek it. Just sit with it. Allow it to weave in your everyday life. Then you're like, oh, there it is. Welcome to all the new folks, new familia here. If you're new here, put a rainbow emoji and introduce yourself for those jumping on. Okay. It's so crazy how you're talking about coming back to yourself. I ended a relationship, a good time, and I feel God and my ancestors pushing me into this purpose. Yes. So it's like a lot of us are in this, we're in a collective grieving period right now, but we're also in this beautiful love and pleasure. There's two essences we're weaving. It's the new beginning and also the grieving of through understanding removing the old blocks and putting in new blocks of foundations in our life. But in that, we're also celebrating, making room into that space. I moved to Florida and everyone has been talking about I need a plan. That's them. If someone ever tells you, this is one of the biggest things. The other day I asked my teacher for advice on something, a very big thing that I'm deciding to go and possibly embark. And she said, "You know what? I'm not even going to give you advice because that's going to tell you what to do." Right? When you have someone telling you what to do, they're speaking from their experience and their lens of life and their lens of you. The best person who has the answer is you. It's great to take that reflection as inspiration, but if we rely on and take that as a pedestal and put that person's voice above ours, above the higher power, above our intuition, but then there's also where these people can actually weave something that is going to speak directly to your soul, and that's different. But a lot of the times, unfortunately, people give advice from their own, right? Not for you. And again, this is why I have to say you have to look, what is it for you? Oh, port credit. Yeah, see, you're definitely affected with the fires as well. That's why I love astrology so much. It helps you with things. Yes, it does. And the mood and all of it's all connected. I have been doing lots of grounding with all of the beautiful lands around me. I love that. So Michelle, you're like doing it. I'm new and so happy to be here. A lot has been going through me mentally and working through. Sending you love, Marquina. Welcome. Big pool. Okay. Yeah. Sam Gareth. Mama. Yeah. Beautiful song. And it's in the first part. They say it in Spanish and they say it in English, which is great. I love when songs do that because, they do it in the original language and then they also can translate it because then it allows people to receive and feel the words, not just say it because, like, this is what the shaman or this person says. A lot of people just sing songs without actually knowing and living the energy of it, right? Okay. Yeah, vegan, Allison, 100%. Yeah, like, and we're part of the problem. Like, what do? We jump in our cars, like, we eat food, we decide not to take a reusable bag to the grocery store. Like, these are the things that we have to change. It's hard, yes, but like, it doesn't have to be hard when we choose to do it. But when we become like, what I like to say, the ancestors were saying, I'm going to take out the ancestors cards for you guys, lazy. When we want people to just save us, when we want people to do the work for us, when we're waiting, we're on the waiting list, on the waiting room for universe. There's no such thing as a waiting room, right? You're making yourself go in the waiting room. If it's for you, it will come now. If it's not for you now, it'll come for you later. If it doesn't come for you later, it's not meant for you. Period. Accept it. There's something better. Big message I've been getting. But this is for us. Like, the world and what's going on with the earth, it's for us to understand. It's for us to connect with. And until we do that, it's just not gonna flow. Okay, let's get into it. Guys, I'm so pumped for this. Like, I'm on a different energy. I just want to say thank you to each and every one of you because the past few days have been like, it's been deep. I've been learning how to go deeper into commitment of myself and to give you guys a little snippet of what is in my life. And I don't usually share personal things, but the message I've been sharing is like, Shika, share your personal stuff. You're sharing this anyways. Share what feels good. Some things are sacred, but this I'm going to share with you guys. In my partnership, my partner has recently been going through surgery and I've been caretaking them. And it has for the past 3 weeks. It's been really teaching me flow. And I've actually been seeing another vision of life and taking life so preciously, like in the deepest way. And I'm so grateful for this opportunity. Before I was fighting it, but now I'm like, wow, I get to be a caretaker to this person who's teaching me something: service, devotion, love. So I just want to share that with you guys because this is what the earth is talking about. Like, the things that are happening in the past 3 weeks of your life is a reflection of the earth asking you to be part of it, right? So look at what happened the past 3 weeks in your life. Where have you felt strife, struggle, grief, or anything that felt uneasy? And I want you to ask yourself, where is that season? Where is that reflection being shown in the earth? And how are you being part of that and in the collective? This totem is the totem of the earth. It is a totem that is deeply rooted in the earth. This is the snake. Shed your skin. The earth is shedding for us right now with the fires. She is shedding. She is sacrificing herself for the stuff we have been doing. But at the same time, she is telling us, listen, get grounded, wake up, wake up. I don't care how many ceremonies you've done or how long you've been on your journey, wake up. Like, that's what she's saying. So Shed the Skin is a beautiful card. And let me just go into this one with you guys. 30, 1 of 30. Cast off the old, reveal your true colors, talents, gifts in the world. That's what I've been saying this whole reading. The energy of renewal is washing over your life at this time. Waters. What did I say? Water my blood, ancestral. If for some reason you feel that your true self hasn't been recognized or you've misread by others, know that your energy is now leaving you. As you've been working through your old stories and your self-limiting beliefs that you're accumulating there along the way, you've been peeling and shielding. It's like an onion, guys. The snake is peeling what you need to. You're peeling in this season. Your own personal commitment to growth has been recognized, and now the external world will begin to reflect all that is. She sheds with us. Now, my question is, how are you going to do is what you're going to do in this world to create new life after she sheds right now. But she's definitely screaming, right? She's screaming to you. And we cannot give ourselves an excuse of what's going on. We need to wake up. Wake up the spirit. This is waking you up. There's an issue. Your air is being affected. Remember what I told you? She could explode at any time she wanted to, but she won't because she trusts in humanity. She's hoping for us to hear. And she believes in us. She's the mother. She's gentle. She's sweet. She's soft. For those of you who probably have the mother wound and like probably didn't have that experience of a nurturing mom, not from a wounded place, but a space of like genuinely with love, giving you what you needed, not what they needed. That is what's showing and being taught here as the mother holds you. No matter how many times you make a mistake in your human life, you will always look whole. You will always be loved. You will always be that compassion being. No matter how many traumas, no matter how many mistakes you make, no matter how many failures you make, at the end of the day, the mother and the earth will continue to hold you through every single cycle of your life. Now, how do you thank her for that? It's so deep. If you feel someone you have love has misunderstood you recently, they will be able to see beyond that if you're willing to recognize your own challenges. We can't just be pointing fingers saying, you're doing this, my life's this, blah, 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 and because of this and that. What about you? You know, one of the biggest things I was lucky that, and I'm going to share this with you guys. I don't know if any of you know sweetgrass. It's a First Nations Indigenous medicine. It is so beautiful. I've learned a lot. It was I think the first medicine that was brought to me for ancestral healing through my mother, ironically enough. And what my mom would do all the time, I don't know if I shared this a long time ago, is that my mom she went to out north, and she got the opportunity to live 2 years. It was a work trip with 2 years, 2 weeks, 2 years, 2 weeks. She went 2 weeks, 3 weeks up to the reserves, and she really got to experience and recultivate and essentially apologize on behalf of Canada what has happened. She was the only conscious being on that team of people. The rest of them did not respect the culture, but my mom put them in their place. Thank God she did. And she came back with sweetgrass, this beautiful braided grass, which my sister and I, we were young, we're like, what is this? So what my mom did is from now on, because her punishment at the time, the way she would punish us was spanking, was slapping, because that's what she was taught. But as she evolved, she noticed, wait a minute, that's not the way that my child's supposed to be in the household. So she removed that. And instead, she brought the sweetgrass that was given to her by an elder. She got from an elder. And she said, from now on, we're going to end up connecting with this medicine. And every time you guys argue, we're going to do a circle together, and we're going to use the smoke to smudge and wash and cleanse the pain that we've done to the other person, and look at ourselves first before we blame someone else. And that is something I looked at all the time. And it's funny because my father, up to this day, always says, you never know what people are going through. And karma's a big thing, Shika. He always says that. You don't know what that person's going through, what they're going through. You may have that as your truth tomorrow. That might be yours tomorrow. So be kind, smile, and have love for everything that you do. That's what we need to do with the earth. That's what we need to do with humanity. So through this weaving of sweetgrass, we were learned to put positive energy back into our light body and into our human, and say, wait a minute, before I start arguing and blaming people, take a breath, take a moment, sit with yourself. And now just talking about it, I should probably bring this back into my home, but it's just, sweetgrass comes in bits for me. And it really has changed the dynamic of my relationship. One of my sisters, we can never be in a room together. And then eventually we started talking late at night on her bed and chatting. And it felt so good to now have this opportunity to connect. But if we didn't take a moment to breathe and say, wait a minute, instead of blaming life, instead of blaming my trauma, instead of blaming the world, instead of saying that's not my problem, why don't we connect a little bit? Because again, if something's suffering, that's connected to us, so you're suffering. And it's going to into our waters, into our blood, into our being, into our body, into earth of our body, into the air that we breathe, into the fire of our spirit. And until we do that, it's just going to stay as it is. So be part of that. See how emotionally connecting with your feminine allows you to connect with your emotions. When I talked about motherhood, I think I saw one of the comments. I haven't read the rest. I'll read them in a bit. But when I saw one of the comments when we're talking about the snake and shedding, like the snake is Kundalini, the snake is the feminine, the snake is the mother. The snake is the closest to the earth. What does the snake do? It literally, its belly, its womb is connected to the earth majority of its life. So if there's any totem that is the most connected to the earth, it is the snake, one of the many, but it is the biggest totem of the earth. So when we connect with that, we can understand, okay, what do we have to shed in ourselves? And then look at that in our reality of our life. But then also bring joy. Like, don't look at it, oh my God, like grieve it. But then also be like, okay, yes, celebrate it too. How can you meet the two polar emotions together, grief and love, and overlap them at the same time in this present moment? When you can do that, you have now learned to harmonize the human experience. Big one. Okay, just reading your comments, guys. Definitely feel like I'm in a season of grieving, but also feeling freeing. Exactly. Today literally is like, I'm grieving, but I'm freeing. I'm opening my heart. I'm expanding my heart. 3-3, like you're exactly everything that happened to you, everything, medical, whatever, like all your physical body that stopped you now in your tracks, it's supposed to happen. Lazy and depressed, look at that. Like, what's the opposite of that energy? We can sit and sulk into that space, or we can move it and be in it, but then also be like, okay, what's the other side of that? Maneuver it, feel it, recognize it, move through it. That's why I do a lot of healing in the body. It's so important. Even though I'm a medicine woman, like it's not just medicine that I work with. A lot of people, most of the people I service isn't medicine. It's interesting, even though I'm a medicine woman. Shedding and waking always. I realized that I'm only holding myself back. Yeah. No, you didn't. You came right on time, Fred. I'm in Nova Scotia and we had 14 wildfires. Very powerful number in our small province. So scary. So again, fear, what's happening? It's creating fear in the world. How can we look at that fear and say, what's the fear? Am I scared of dying? Am I scared of fear of like my home being burned? Be part of it. We can sit and watch the fires continuously, or we can say, wake up, be part of it. I think that's the hugest thing. Hey, I'm new to this. Well, I know I was different when I was young. Then something just happened. I'm just overwhelmed right now. Yeah, so right now, breathing into that overwhelmingness, breathing into, you know, not dividing your younger self. A lot of people do this with healing, and I feel like this is coming through for a reason for everyone collectively, is like the younger child is so open. You as a child, even if you can't remember a beautiful childhood, you were so open, and that's what allowed you to receive those lessons that you had, but also you were so connected. And you still are, but it's sometimes like an onion, like the snake. You need to shed yourself to see what the talents are there of your younger self. So tuning into that overwhelmingness, where was my younger self overwhelmed and feeling it hard? Thank you for the protection for my partner. Really greatly appreciate that. Okay, next one we have is mountain. Stand your ground, root chakra, earth. Guys, if you got 2 earth, we got 3 earths. Threes coming in hot. The number 3, follow it. Let's look at mountains. Let's see what mountains have to tell us. Root, grounding ourselves with the earth once again. It's something our ancient ancestors did every day. Hold firm to what you believe in and or focus on. Believe it is absolutely right. Know that the heaven and earth is supporting you. The heaven and earth are supporting us. Mountain energy is powerful because it's firmly rooted in the great mother. Mother Earth. She's here. And what is great? Does anyone know? Did you guys know that the earth is connected to all mothers, all daughters, and all sisters, like all feminine energy? So look at that. If there's anything you can be part of that to look at yourself, look at your relationship with mom or feminine energy. You are resilient and grounded, and energy of the mountains is giving you this unshakable strength. Us together, people are strength. When humans come together, we see magic happen time and time again. Community is what's going to anchor what's going on in the world. What's happening right now, unfortunately, is a lot of our everyday life separates us from the earth, right? Think of our phones, think of our alarm clocks, think of our Bluetooth speakers, think about screens. Like there's so much AI connected coding in it. So the AI is happening now, but it's always been in our life. It's always been on your phone. If you look at your phone's coded in AI. Like it's affecting your eyes. It was preparing you for this big shift, which is going to continue. So now as a collective, the biggest thing we need to do is like, how can we still be rooted? Because let me tell you, and again, I'm just saying this with love. These things are happening for a reason. We got to wake up. We got to start doing the things we got to start growing our own food, going into communities, drinking the water, learning more about the water, getting connected with our indigenous community. They have the wisdom. They know what's going on. These things are important. If we don't do that, then we are going to be in a space of kind of what, I forgot who mentioned it, kind of what Marquina said, like in fear, which fear is the deepest. Fear and shame are the two frequencies that controls this world and gets this world sick, right? So when these two things come up, because let me tell you, Mother Earth is happening. This is a ripple. It's a collective egregore of energy. And this is why the fires are happening in the waters. It's humans. We need to look at that because we are a majority of the population. We're billions on this earth, right? We're seeing nature this extinct because of us. We got to listen to that. And it's going to take a lot of love. And the love that we have and we possess in this world is so potent and powerful. Each and every single one of you, you have this joy and love and groundingness that is the earth is calling us to come back to. And this is why I'm saying, like, put yourself on the email list because November is a big, big announcement. And we're going to need a lot of you to come through. And like I said, there's only one of me. So my intention with this YouTube channel, and I would encourage you to follow and share this, is to really just bring community, to come together, to connect, to really bring a bunch of people, like-minded and not like-minded, together that have hope in this space, and do it together because that's what's going to help the next few years that we have. Right now, the collective's in shadow period because of everything that's been shifting. We're shedding still with the snake. But then with the snake, it's also like we're creating a new skin, right? So we're creating this new skin of the earth, and we need to follow that through. We can't just be in the shedding. Shedding's great, but we also have to integrate the shedding periods. I don't know why I had to share this. If you're not sure what you need to do next, the Mountain card invites you to stay exactly where you are. Talk things over with those around you. Sit in it. Don't avoid it. Don't reject it. Don't bypass it. Sit with it. You will be whole and well at the end of the current situation, and it will not stand you. For those of you fearing right now, you're going to be okay. You're okay. You're okay. Like everything I'm sharing here, you're okay. Nothing wrong is going to happen as long as you are listening to yourself and true to yourself. If you are in that space, you're good. You're great. And if not, ask for help. Reach out to community. You're not alone. Even if you feel alone, you don't have any friends here, family's not near you. If you're in that situation, like you're here because this is to remind you you're not alone. And again, I'm going to make this really imperative. Fall is going to be a big shift for all of us. So you're not alone in this. Don't let fear rule your world because that is what humans have created. This is the biggest energy and the biggest, unfortunately, issue with this world is the fear and the shame, because those two frequencies is what keeps us down. But when we can recognize it, look it in the eye and say, this is what I'm scared of. This is what I'm shameful of. This is what's coming up. This is what I'm grieving. And when we can look it in the eye and we say, I see you. I love you. I love fully you. Not say it just because you have to get it off or because you just want to get off this space and bypass it. Feel it, cry it, like be in that messiness. When you can tap into that, that is what the collective is being called in. Can you imagine hundreds of people coming together, crying together, loving together, all together? What would happen after that? Miracles. I've heard it. I've seen it. I've had elders tell me stories about it. It's true. Magic does happen. It's not only for your childhood. Animal guardians trust your instincts. Okay, let's read this one for you guys. How are we feeling, fam? Let's do a little check-in. How are you guys feeling? What's coming up? What's going through your heart right now? 94. Trust the powerful animal spirit within to learn more about yourself and your talents. I believe there's an animal that connects to all of us. You have a powerful animal within you, the wild, protective, instinctive, and even calm. Think of a mother protecting their baby cub. What would it feel like? Fiery, powerful, ignited. Boundaries beyond anything. Nothing would phase you because you are just, this is yes, this is no, this is where I'm at. You are fully aware of your energy field. When we disconnect from the news in the world, we're not aware. It's not helping you. It's making you get a false reality of the world. It doesn't help. That's the bubble. This is the bubble of the ego I need to pop for you guys to open that up. Animals don't second guess how they feel. They just express it. And you can learn from that. When the cards arise, it's important to connect with how you really feel. Don't be grateful. My teacher said this, like when people are like, I'm grateful for life. I'm grateful for my family. Are you grateful? Like, are you truly grateful? You just say that because you want to be a spiritual, like light and love. Like you're not grateful. Just say that. I'm not grateful right now because this, and this, you're freeing your shadow to do that. So then you can be more in the frequency of consciousness and light. But when you false things, this is where you're actually becoming a fake version, a mask of yourself, right? So when you do that, when I heard that, I felt someone's throat like something cleared in someone's throat there. This is throat. Communicate your truth. Who are you communicating for? Who are you trying to please outside of yourself? This is the solar plexus is what? Judgment, how we see ourselves, how people see us, fire. That's what it's related to. You're not in your truth about yourself. Focus on that. That's the collective reading. And new life will happen the moment you lean into that truth. I'm not grateful right now. Let that free. Then you can see what gratitude really feels like. I don't feel loved right now. Let that free. Then you can really see what love feels like, right? Not grateful right now on many levels. Julian, yes. And then why is that? You just freed something from doing that. Why? You know, I have healings with people and I say, if you need to scream, scream. If you need to be angry, put that energy out there because this isn't about a false thing. You're supposed to feel the different frequencies. If you're just like, I love my partner. I love my partner. We never had an argument ever. Really? Really, really? There's absolutely nothing that you feel like you want to share. Like, no, we work so well together. Well, honey, there's something you're bypassing because let me tell you, your partner's your biggest teacher. There's something that has to come through. I'm not saying you have to have an argument all the time, but I'm just saying that disagreement is healthy because that's where we learn from each other. That's where the sweet grass story comes in, where we can go inwards from what someone reflected and what is being triggered. And then we can let that out and then come into love to receive that person more because then a part of our heart is blocked off and we're disconnected. And this is what, unfortunately, this screeny thing, which, I do YouTube and I get it. And sometimes I just want to but I also know that I get to connect with you guys. But it's also like management, balance. We live in a modern world. I get that. But at the same time, it's like collectively, we are so disconnected by the tree outside of your door or outside of your house right now. You don't even know that tree. You just know that it gives you oxygen. And now that spirit and Mother Earth's cutting the oxygen, you're like, okay, I know the air. What's going on? Because you're privileged. She's giving you light. You have to come back to earth. And this is something that nature has done for years. This is what our ancestors have done for years. And for those of you guys who don't connect with this, I know I'm probably not the truth for you. Like, that's it. Like, I always used to kind of be like, oh, the person's not receiving it. But like, this is truth. This is the essence of truth. And I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you guys. I'm going to say it as it is because I know it's going to benefit you if you open just a bit to receive it and you come back to it again and again and again because it will help you. But if you just get the nice little, so you're going to build blocks and have a new life and great for those readers. But that's not me. I'm going to say, this is what it is. This is where you're at. And you're going to be expanding your talents. However, there's a caveat. You got to open up. You got to wake up. You got to stop rejecting yourself. You got to use your talents and stop saying that the world's against you and that you're depressed and all this stuff. You got to stop being a victim of your life, and you got to sit with it and process it and move it. Move the energy out of your body. Get movement, dancing, moving it, like whatever, shaking. Get to that primal energy of the animal instincts. And when you can do that, you feel sensation, you feel vibration, you feel frequency. That's the earth responding to you. That is you. But the moment that you're posed and poised and done, like, for who? For what? There's a wound there that is whispering to you, that wants to say itself, say what it means, say what it feels, and you're scared of that. Mending can only be mended when it's looked at directly through the eyes of its soul. And when you can do that, you open up so much. I'm on a high with the spirit. Like, I feel like I'm in a different, like, shifting so much for you guys here. But I know it, you're receiving it. Your soul is, even if your human doesn't make sense of it. Take the time to connect with the animal energy and express naturally. Naturally. Right now, I feel amazing. I feel so in my truth. That's me. That's my truth. I feel great. But I also recognize that I'm being pushed in service, and that feels uncomfortable. That's truth. That's truth. But that's why we're here, to receive it. It's hard. Yeah, it's hard. Recognize it, push a little bit to your energy. You know your strengths, you know your resistances and edges. You can tell yourself that. I'm not going to tell you that, because that's just not going to help you. What's your boundaries? You figure that out and use this medicine in those boundaries to help you grow. That's where you're becoming your own guide and healer here. Let even the fiercest energy move through you before returning to the natural state. It will teach you a lot about your gifts and how to grow. Rejecting growth. What's happening right now? The growth is being deteriorated through fire, through waters, because our cells are stunting our growth, and we're stunting the growth with nature, and we're stunting the growth of the connection because we put a hold on growth. What did ancients used to do? They would plant trees, they would garden their food, they would drink water, and, like, everyone has that auntie or uncle that's like, I used to walk so many kilometers, and it's not about how long they walked. It's about the fact that they were connected to the earth the whole time. That's not a length. It's about the fact that they had this appreciation. That's the story. When your grandparents tell you all those hardships, and this is why we're so disconnected, we're just on our phone. Like, when they tell you their stories, look at, like, wow, how connected were they to every part of their ceremony of their life, from eating food to cleaning the clothes to going to work to having dinner. Like, they were so connected to it. Doesn't mean we can't weave it here in the modern, but it's like, we can't be super modern either. We become so privileged. Amazon this, Amazon that. Okay, great. But, like, that's part of the problem. Not that you can't do it, but come on. You just want things given to you. That's the issue with the world. That's where our ancestors are mad. They're like, let's burn this a little bit. Okay. So let's take a breath into that. That is deep truth. That is probably the deepest reading I've given on here. And it feels good to share this with you guys. But it's something that you guys need to know. Every single one of you that are on here and that find this, like, this is what you need to know. Like, wake up. You're not actually awake. You're telling yourself a false awakeness because your fear of being fully awake and then being like, oh, my whole life is going to change. It is. And that's beautiful, because you're giving yourself permission to stop bringing your false reality. And then in doing that, you'll see this in your relationships, then your partners, then your parents, then your siblings, then your friends will also get that permission to do the same. And they're like, what can I do to be part of this, to help with this problem? Till then, we are just struggling, like Maddie's saying here on TikTok. What do you have to say about self-control? Self-control is the fear. That's not truth. Your control is like, you're just wrapping something and hiding something. What's going on, right? Think about, here's a big collective reading for you guys. And I promise I'll wrap it up because I know you guys have things to do. Here's a big collective reading for you guys. Control. let's think of what are controlled systems in our world. We have governed systems, we have schools, we have health, we have food. Absolutely everything that's part of your root chakra is governed, right? What has benefited us in that? Well, we are told that it gives us more structure. It gives us structure, but what is the con that is resulted to that? We don't know where our food comes from. It is based on a mass production of greed, more food, more schooling, more people, right? And then they become an issue where the health kind of feeds to this. Holy moly, this is really deep. I'm getting for you guys, but health. Too many people. How can we control it? Pharmaceutical. Really feel like I should make a telegram for this. There's so much I want to share with you guys, but unfortunately, certain platforms do not allow me to go deeper. So let me know, guys. Would you be actually just add yourself to an email list? I think I'm going to start sharing more of my downloads on there because there's so much that's coming up. I know it's going to benefit you. I know it will. But yeah, think about it. It's a cycle, right? So give you the food that's going to not be super connected to earth. And it's like, it's superficial and it's put with all of these deep, non-natural things. Okay. And then let's also add the fact that we'll put a little bit of like technology in there to erase the mind connection to the natural state of primal being. And then, ooh, there's more. Mental health. Let's pretend like that doesn't exist, because then they will need to go to pharmaceutical, which will then again create another layer of the snake, not shed, but create another layer of control. So I can go off on control, but like what you can do in your life, what I can give you as advice is look at your, like, where are you not making decisions for yourself? Where do you feel that we can start to make decisions for ourselves, starting with your voice of your health. Your voice is your biggest weapon in this world. Your voice is your biggest anchor, right? Voice in education, at your schools, voice in work, sharing. Doesn't mean it has to be like vile where you're like hurting the person, but you can come from a space when you can know you can communicate in a very loving way and not be in a very urgent, fiery way, which is what's happening in the world. We're communicating truth that's not truth and it's burning. So that's what's going on. Again, we're part of the problem, excuse me. So huge, huge. I'm just reading all of your comments, guys. We travel to work so lonely and fear creeps us easily. Community, yes, yeah, 100%. This is huge. Guys, put a rainbow emoji and a heart if you feel like community is something. If you were, let's just do some visionary manifestation here. If you had a community where you got to have organic food from a greenhouse, let me just tell you, a big greenhouse, every food you could think of grown all year round, and you got an abundance of land, and you actually have neighbors you can talk to, that you don't just like kind of dodge or like you actually talk to, that genuinely are there to maybe like babysit your dog or help you when you're pregnant and you're postpartum and you need a breather, or that like you are going through a big shift with your relationship, and community can come together and help you and hold space for you and your partner, for you guys to come back to love and shed what you need to. How would it feel to have clean water where the water and the minerals are not stripped away and added with unnatural things, and you can drink the water and actually receive the naturalness, the spring waters, the waters that we have? How would it feel to go outside and see animals and see a deer come to your door and look at you and nod to you and you to nod and acknowledge that? How would it feel to go swimming in beautiful waters on a hot summer's day and have a picnic with a group of people and laugh and joy and have fun? How would it feel to have a big potluck of organic food, delicious food, an abundance of food where you're all sharing together? How would it feel to have your kid run around and not feel judged, and they can have fun, and they can have an auntie and an uncle that's here to support them? How would it feel to all heal together when something happens in our world and to support each other? How would it feel to always feel like you have support and you're never alone from every cycle of your human? Sit with that. That is what the earth is calling. We are not only enjoying life at that point, but we're doing the work to be part of the problem. That's what she's calling. That's what she wants. And if that means she go down with her, we go down with her. But that's not gonna happen. She loves it so much. She loves it so much. But we gotta also listen. Like it's like having a child that you know that they're not listening, they're stubborn. What does the mother do? Look at what the mother would do. If you were that child who didn't listen, what did the mother do? Did they discipline you in fear or shame? Or did they say, okay, I'm gonna be patient, take a breath? It was hard for them, but they gave that loving energy to that child, what the child needed. They allowed emotional intelligence for the child to speak their emotions. You're not speaking your emotions. Mending. This card. Mending. The feminine. Mother wounds. Someone asked me what is mother wounds earlier in the chat. Mother wounds is when your mother and grandmother and all generations before, we can go as far back scientifically and spiritually to 38 generations connected. Everything connected to that. On both sides. All sides connected. When we can look at that, what did every mother that birthed a child into this world, what did they have before? What wounds did they have? What traumas did they have? What pains did they have? And then that is not only put into the DNA of every 30 generations continues to more and more, another layer like the snake, onion, more layer, and then we are the ones shedding for us and for them to free them all. And then they decide to mother their child the way that they, based on their experiences and their wounds. That is mother wound. Me too. This is great. This is a really good one too. Right, Mark? Like I love it. Okay, let me pull my last cards. This is the last ones, and then I want to share an announcement with you guys while I have you guys all here. In Pack of this Fire, I am feeling like I want to be part of that. And what I'm doing is I don't do this. I never do this, as you guys know. But I also feel in my heart that I want to offer this to help you, to help the earth, to help us, and all those related. So I will be offering. I am going to be offering a 70-minute healing session with me to 11 souls for a very gifted rate. It will be $250 for 11 souls. $50 of that is going to go towards the fires and the earth and organization. I'm going to do my research. We're going to do a poll maybe. And all that, which means for each soul that gets a healing between now and the 25th of June, if you're seeing this in time, you will receive a healing. You just need to email me and let me know, Shika, I am ready. Okay? And we will set up a session together. Okay? So $50 of that goes towards an organization. I'm really excited for that. So if you are someone reading this, watching this, and you feel like you need support, you need help, you resonate with the energy that is here, you want to go deeper, you want to see what's here. How can I be more in my body? Listen to whatever intention is coming up through this conversation. And you're ready. The ball's in your court. I'm a guide, right? So you decide, I want to heal myself. And if you're in that space, you're like, it's a F yes, then you just message me. And we will organize a conversation, a healing together, a ceremony together. And I know it's going to help a lot of you. This came in my meditation today, but it also came to support you in this conversation here too. So again, if you feel called, email me. It's an hour and 10 minutes long. And yeah, I really feel I'm so excited to help you. 11 souls that came to me this morning wanting to help because I listened to the call, I respond. All that information is down below my link tree. You can go and find my email there. And you can message me and we can chat. No, it's a one-on-one, Danae. So one-on-one healing. You get one-on-one session, not a group. However, if you're wanting a group healing, I do have the Gemini breathwork that's happening. The one on Sagittarius was fire. So that one's amazing. And it's a 3-hour ceremony happening on the 18th at 3 p.m. Eastern time. It's breathwork, deep medicine. We're talking about love, relationships, and I'm going to add this into this as well for the earth as my intention. So you can sign up for that as well down below. Oh, thank you, Fred. It's so nice that I was able to do work with you, and I hope you're doing well and integrating. But yeah, this is deep work, and it's deep. It's deeper. The elements are deeper. The world is deeper. The energy of the collective is deeper. So I find the healings have been so like it's shocking me, like what people are healing in themselves. So yeah, if you feel called, just message me, and if you have questions, just let me know. But if it's a yes, like I'm ready, do it. If it's a maybe, ask me questions that are there. Sit with yourself first, and then see where you are at. Okay. Thank you for all that you do. Okay, let's pull these cards and let's wrap up our ceremony and our collective here. Okay, let's see. Let's see. What do we need to know about this earth? What's going on? Does the collective need to wake up? See, don't know if you guys saw that, but flipped out as soon as I said wake up. Yeah, it's going to be huge. I've been pulling this card for 4 months, guys. 4 months. So it's really, really deep. And this is why I'm saying we need to connect with Indigenous. Know the land that you live on and the Indigenous name. Please do the favor. Me, it's Algonquin, right? That's the region I live in. I know it's Algonquin. That's what I connect with. When I do prayer, I say Algonquin. I don't say Canada. I don't say what the city I'm in. I say Algonquin. So, what is the land of your Indigenous? This is what's coming up when I pull this card for you guys. Okay. Feel this card. I want you to take a moment. See how there's the cycles of the moon. This is beautiful. Feel it. Tawadi, number 39. You got a lot of threes. Threes, threes, threes. Look for threes during this next few weeks, guys. On the sacred wings of the red-tailed hawk, a divine message comes. Your spiritual maturity has evolved into the genuine power of discernment. You have earned your stripes, acknowledgement is granted. Trust yourself and your destiny. You are ready for your next steps. Trust in your sense of timing, which is excellent and inspired, and allow the spirit to support you as you hover until the moment comes for you to fearlessly plunge into the forthcoming adventure. A divine message is here for you now, so be open to the signs of the universe. You are more spiritually mature than you may realize. You have the ability to share wisdom and honesty with your people. If with your people, community, are you connected with your blood, blood your water, earth my body, air my breath, fire my spirit? Are you connected to those elements? That's the answer. You have an ability to share wisdom and honesty with your people. And if you are still searching for a soul tribe, trust yourself. The invitation is here. Start creating from that space. Trust me, so much will evolve. I was just looking at my journal 6 months ago. I suggest you guys doing this. And I looked at the evolution that I had because sometimes when we're in that ripple of like, I need to heal and fix myself, which is the wounded version thinking of perfectionism, we need to go back to those things and be like, wait a minute, wow, okay, lots has changed. My wording has changed. The way I speak to myself has changed. Read your journals from 6 months ago. If you're in a space of like, where am I? Am I even improving? Go to those journals. These are always the best to read. And if you are still in the same place, you're in your cycle and maybe something has to change. Take discernment. You're in this spiritual maturity right now where it's like, I know what isn't working for me and let me listen to that. You will recognize your instinctively when you meet them. You'll know who the person is. You'll know your community. I've been starting to see my community. You know, the amount of people since we're creating this project have come in my field, and I'm like, wow, it's becoming so easy to create this. So easy to create this. Even on the outside, they seem different to you. You are seeing that things clearly. So trust your vision and your patience. Speak your truth, but do so with compassion because your words have greater influence than you realize. Spelling. You're spelling things every time you say things. It's a spell. When the moment is right, take action. A way will be shown for you to manifest your light, spiritual light in the world. It's practical. Again, I want to just show you this card. This card is fire. Can I just say that it's fire energy around this card? So it's like the fire of community. Like this is like wake up, create your community, stop being isolated, stop complaining. Literally. So huge. Thanks, Gail. So huge. Like fire around this. Like, can you feel this energy? This is where we're at. We're in the fire. You're going to complain that you're in the fire. You're going to wake up and be like, I'm in the fire. Wake up. I'm rejecting myself. I am hurting myself. And so is she. So is the earth's Mama Gaia, Pachamama. They are too. Shed when you can, permission to shed and allow your talents to come through and allow yourself to work in an efficient way. Law of efficiency. What is working for me? Because now I've done this healing. It's like now I'm ready to continue this evolution in a deeper way. Right? The voice, I know. It's my playful side when it comes out, sometimes when I'm channeling. Guardian of the I'm going to make sure I can pronounce this. Puio. Yeah, Puio. Guardian of the Amakua. That feels like it's right. Amakua. Yeah, the feeling Amakua. Oh, wow, that is very I'm going to show you guys the card. Amakua. Guardian of Amakua. Look how beautiful she is. Let's read her. 24. Let's connect with this beautiful divine goddess, feminine energy, Amakua. Okay, so no matter how compelling an experience of challenge, darkness, or defeat may seem, you have divine protection and the promise of safe passage through to the dawn. You will see and hear the truth of the light. You shall not be alone on this journey. Soul guides now help you find your true north. Feel that? If you have been proceeding along the dangerous paths, even unknowingly, Pue will navigate you into the safely away from the evil and ill wishes, guiding you back to your highest purpose and sacred path. If you feel like you're off the path right now, this is supposed to happen to wake you up. Whatever is happening, right? So really tuning into that. And I'm going to read the reading in the reading. So information that may have been hidden for you for some time will be in the light. Awakening, we saw 4s, we saw 3s. These 3 is the divine angel number, divine archangels. We have 4, which is the awakening, realization of your truth, realization of what's here. So again, how much more can I say that Makua, the Hawaiian, it's a Hawaiian goddess. And can I just say that Hawaii is the heart chakra of the world coming through? A guiding intelligence of assisting you to safely through the situation that you otherwise confuse you or dangerous to you. Divine powers are helping you to master, to do your battles, unfairness, and justice, whether you are consciously aware of these things or not. Trust in signs you see, and especially in the truth that you hear, sometimes beneath what is being spoken. Truth is truth. You are feeling like tuned into when you feel something that isn't true, do you just go along with it because you're scared of the judge? Solar plexus, fire, you're igniting, you're overwhelming the fire. If you have any gastritis, anything that's happening in your liver, pancreas, that is all related to your truth. Something's coming into the light here, and the fire had to be ignited on the earth for it to happen because we're not waking up. Wake up, wake up, wake up. I keep hearing that. Trust in the signs that you see, especially in the truth that you hear. Sometimes beneath it, what is being spoken. The accuracy of your insights and perceptions are heightened at this time. In the Hawaiian, Amakua refers to the vulnerable ancestors. Who's vulnerable in your lineage? Who was hurt in your lineage? Who was pained in your lineage? Hearing the cry of that in the fires that's happening right now. Feel that. Silence is powerful. Let's take a moment. Feel in your heart for a second. Someone in the ancestors, every ancestor we have here, vulnerability was shamed and feared. Vulnerability, that's a lie, is your power. It opens up truth. It opens up a chest of truth, a chest of what you're seeking for, which is not outside. It's in the blood. Water your blood. It's the waters. Again, I bet you guys, the next thing that's going to happen, I'm going to put it here. Water. You're seeing fire now. There's going to be a whole thing going on about water. That's the next element that we're going to be seeing. We have the power to tap into that before. So vulnerable ancestors. Who is the vulnerable ancestors? What are the stories that are happening? Who felt vulnerable when they were sick? Who felt vulnerable when something happened and no one was there for them and they kept that secret to their grave until now it's being truthed and channeled through you? I almost feel like someone passed away without getting like peace. They didn't really say what they needed to say. They're going to say it through you. You might even channel something and heal something that it didn't feel like you because it was just that ancestor that needed to heal. And through that, they're helping you, shedding the snake, coming through deep. I could feel that in my liver. Anyone who has family that probably had liver failure, anything, issues with gastritis, ulcers, cancer in the stomach area, it's coming out vulnerable if it came to that part. And it might have not been that deep, but I do feel like almost like there was this secret they're holding of their truth, of who they are and how they were judged, and disconnection, isolation, feeling alone. This is feeling, and it's like vulnerable ancestors come through, speak your truth. The time is now through you. The oracle also indicates that loved ones on the other side are receiving your prayers and intentions and healing and sending love and assistance. They're helping you and supporting you. You know, there's an interesting thing. When loved ones become souls, they're much easier to work with. A lot of people I do healings with, and then we work with an ancestor, like, oh my gosh, I had a horrible experience with my father. There's no way that I'm going to. They connect in spirit. They're like, oh my gosh, I have this love. I have this love. Because all their human stuff stayed here. Right. And that's why sometimes it makes it hard for them to transition, because they're attached to the human life and their soul can't fully transition. One of the reasons why soul retrieval is so important. Whether you're living, you can still do a soul retrieval while you're living. And also if you passed away or you're not born yet, or you're not on the earth side yet, you're not in the womb. There's so many ways that you could do that. So again, this is like so powerful. We have vulnerable ancestors come through, speak through us. We're hearing, we're listening, and they are. Water my blood, earth my body. There's a human part of their human when they were here, that the truth's going to come out from their lifetime that's going to actually help them ascend higher, ascend to the next life. I felt that right here. Grief point. Right here. This is a grief point. If I do candle or medicine on people and I poke here, sometimes they're like, ah! Because this is grief right here. If you feel that above your breast glands, lymphatic, this is all grief. Pain, get sound into that and feel it. Okay, wow, this was really deep. I feel like, I'm looking at my cards, that's it for today. I hope that you guys were able to receive this. How are we feeling? Let's do a little check-in before I clock off. Put in the comments how you're feeling, how you receive this, what connected for you. Again, I'm doing healing for 11 souls. The energetic exchange is $250. I never do that. It's not this gift. Like, this gift amount is gifted. And it's an hour and 10 minutes session with me via Zoom, virtually, healing, connecting with yourself. $50 goes to a nonprofit organization. I'll look into it to connect and support what's going on in the world. And yeah, this is just me in service. This is me supporting. So message me, email me through down below. And if you would like to join the Gemini New Moon Breathwork, it's a 3-hour ceremony, group ceremony that we're doing together with the Gemini energy that's coming up. You can sign up below. It's a beautiful Zoom live ceremony we're going to be doing on the day of the new moon. So I'd love to see you guys there. It was really potent, our last one we had. Thank you, all of you, for being here, every single one of you. I appreciate you. I feel you. Those who are rewatching it, I feel you. I feel all of you. And I'm sending you so much love at this time and so much blessings. And yeah, I will see you guys really soon. So stay in touch. Add yourself to the email list if you'd like to learn more. There's a lot I want to share, but I'm just trying to figure out what platform to share that on, because there's some things I can share. I'm sharing it still here, but I want to share more. There's deeper truths to share. And woof, after the month that I'm going to be going on in July, I'll be disconnected. You guys will have videos here, but I'll be away in the jungle with my teachers. Going on a next venture, a next very powerful learning initiation. And I know I'll be ignited, and there's going to be so much I want to share with you. So I love you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for being who you are. Don't forget to like the video, share this with a friend, and subscribe if you're new. Introduce yourself. I love to read your introductions, and I'm sending you so much blessings as you connect with the earth again and the elements. Bye. I love you all.